Hey guys, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well today. Elliot here and welcome back to The Fragrance Well. So you see the thumbnail, you see the title, pretty straightforward fragrance video today. These are must-haves that all cost under $100. Now, there is a stipulation. As far as I know, you can still get most of these for under $100, but I'm not 100% sure. But these are all fragrances that I personally paid under $100 for, and these are fragrances that I think are very good and ones that I would definitely keep in my collection. Let's just say I had to get rid of every fragrance in my collection that I paid less than $100 for, except for 10 of them. These are the 10 I would keep. So once again, 10 fragrances under $100 that are must-haves in my collection. Before we get the video started, as always, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like this content, and remember to hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. All right, first one's coming from the house of John Varvatos, and this is Artisan Pure. John Varvatos Artisan Pure. This one is obviously going to be, if you're familiar with it at least, my summertime choice. This is a great summertime fragrance, very much a vacation style fragrance in my mind. Makes me think of Jamaica in particular. It's just one of the spots I kind of associate with it. It's a citrus fragrance with kind of a woody, somewhat musky base. There's a little bit of iris in this. Not a super strong iris fragrance, but it's kind of in there to just give it a good heart, floral heart, if you will. And there's also a good amount of petitgrain in this fragrance as well. Very nice summertime scent. One of the best from the house of John Varvatos, in my opinion. Definitely the best out of the Artisan fragrances. I think there's only two. There might be a third one, but I've only got Artisan in this one, and this one is far better than the original Artisan, in my opinion. So, and as far as I know, you can definitely still get this well under $100. Pretty much like you can get most of the John Varvatos fragrances. So it's a must-have for me. Once again, from the house of John Varvatos, this is Artisan Pure. Okay, next one's coming from the house of Bentley, and this is Bentley For Men Intense. Bentley For Men Intense. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this was easily one of the ones that kind of caught my attention when I first started collecting because, hey, it's a high quality fragrance that you can get for a great price. Let me change that. I wouldn't necessarily say it's high quality. I would say it's just very good for the price you can get it for. I don't know, what, 30, 40 bucks? Is that what this is going for now? It's about what I paid for it. And I would say for that price point, it's very, very good. Now, I don't wear this that much anymore, obviously. I've obviously acquired a lot of fragrances that kind of give off what this fragrance gives off and does it at a much higher quality standpoint. But for under $100, I still think it does what it does very well. This is going to be a spicy, woody, leathery fragrance. There's a little bit of a boozy touch in it. I would say that that's one of the main things I noticed. It comes in much higher quality form, the booziness that this fragrance has. I got other boozy fragrances that run laps around this one. But for under $100, I like what it does. It's not gonna be for everyone. You know, many people, I think they say it smells like their grandma. I certainly don't get that vibe, or if it does, I like the way that smells. But yeah, if I was gonna keep 10 of my fragrances that I have bought for less than $100, I think this one is a pretty easy choice because it gives me that kind of sophisticated, gentlemanly, woody, spicy, leathery vibe that I really do enjoy in fragrances. So once again, from the house of Bentley, this is Bentley For Men Intense. All right, next one's coming from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Acqua Essenziale Blu. Salvatore Ferragamo Acqua Essenziale Blu. Now, to the best of my knowledge, this fragrance is discontinued, but I think there's still so much of it out there that nobody really notices. As far as I know, the price on this has not gone up at all. I think you can still get a very large bottle for under $100 as well. This is a 50 ml. But what this fragrance does for me is it gives me just that kind of basic blue fragrance style, leaning a little bit more youthful. It is a fresh and citrusy fragrance, has a slight aquatic vibe to it. There's some spices in this as well. And I think, in my opinion at least, this is one of, if not the best, budget-friendly blue fragrance DNA out there. I know there's plenty of others, and to be honest, I don't buy a whole lot of fragrances that are what would be considered cheap or not expensive. But at least in my collection, this one takes the cake as far as that kind of blue fragrance category is concerned when it comes to fragrances under $100. Once again, from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, this is Acqua Essenziale Blu. Next one's coming from the house of Mancera, and this is Red Tobacco. Mancera's Red Tobacco. Now, talking about the house of Mancera, you can just about throw the entire catalog on this list because you can pretty much get the entire catalog for under $100, with the exception of maybe some of the newer releases, but if you wait long enough, you'll probably find them under $100. I do have another Mancera on this list, but this one gives me that spicy, sweet tobacco fragrance category that I really do enjoy. People talk about the opening of this fragrance being tough. It's not tough to me. I love every aspect of this fragrance. Matter of fact, it's gonna be my scent of the day today. I am playing drums later, and I'm gonna rock some Red Tobacco. I haven't worn it in a little while, and I wanna give it some more wear. But yeah, as far as this list goes, insert a Mancera fragrance. I bet everyone who would make a list like this could pick at least one Mancera fragrance to throw it on a keep 10 under $100 fragrance list. So once again, from the house of Mancera, this is Red Tobacco. All right, I might as well get the other Mancera out of the way too. This is Vetiver Sensuel. Mancera Vetiver Sensuel. Now, this will take care of my clean vetiver fragrance fix that I definitely need. And I don't care if it's under $100 or over $100. I need at least one. If I'm gonna keep 10 for an under $100 list, it's gonna be this one. I mean, cause this smells well over $100 in my opinion. Beautiful collection of citruses off the top, has a nice watery feel to it, kind of a bit of a fizzy floral vibe in the mid of the fragrance, and you just have clean, slightly grassy, easy to wear vetiver on the base of the fragrance. Can work for anything, wear it for any occasion. It's crowd pleasing. People definitely like the way this smells, and I gotta have it. It's just gonna be on a list like this, if not any other type of list. Once again, from the house of Mancera, it is Vetiver Sensuel. All right, now as much as I like a good clean vetiver scent, I like some dirty vetiver as well, and that takes us into the next one. From the house of Hermes, it's Terre D'Hermes. Hermes' Terre D'Hermes, the modern day classic, in my opinion. Let's see, can I smell this? Nope, haven't sprayed in a while. Let's go ahead and spray that on a strip. I love this scent right here. Yep, dirty, earthy, orange, slightly smoky, almost ashy, a little bit green, and just a really good, nice, grassy, woody vetiver base. Good amount of benzoate in it too. This is my classy gentleman's fragrance that I would wear to the office. I'd wear it on a casual day. My wife really enjoys this one too, so I'd even wear it for a date night. Certainly not gonna be for everyone, and I'm sure many of you have heard before, but I love this fragrance. And best part is you can get this quality juice right here for less than $100. If I'm not mistaken, you can get all of the Terre D'Hermes fragrances for under $100, even the newest Eau Givray if you get one of the smaller bottles. Easy one to add to this list for me. So once again, from the house of Hermes, this is Terre D'Hermes, the original Eau de Toilette. All right, next one's coming from the house of Azzaro, and this is Wanted by Night. Azzaro's Wanted by Night. I've actually bought this fragrance twice because I bought a 30 ml originally and actually gave that to my brother and bought a bigger bottle. But I really enjoyed this scent here. I still think it's the best out of all of the Wanted fragrances that have come out. You've got a spicy tobacco fragrance right here, has a little bit of a smokiness to it, a really nice cinnamon accord, slight fruitiness off the top, kind of a mandarin kind of vibe, and I really just enjoy this fragrance. Now when I bought it, it was well under $100, but it has crept up in price over the last, I don't know what, year and a half or so, but you can still get it for well under $100, but you used to be able to get like 100 ml for maybe $40, but I think it's more like 60 or 70 now. That is a real shame. I think it's due to the fact that this fragrance is just not as popular, or maybe it's a little bit more scarce. I'm not speculating or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if Azzaro eventually cans this one. Nevertheless, it's still available for less than 100, and I certainly paid well under 100 for it, and I'm definitely gotta have this one in my collection. Once again, from the house of Azzaro, this is Wanted by Night. All right, guys, next one's coming from the house of Valentino, and this is Uomo Intense. Valentino Uomo Intense. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I do think if you get 100 ml in this bottle, it might be over $100. This is a 50 ml, which is plenty for me, but I know I did pay less than $100 for this. This was kind of hard to get for a while, but I think they were just out of batches. I'm guessing they made more batches. It doesn't look like it's getting discontinued, but it is a little bit harder to find in the States. I don't really see it in stores anymore. This is a beautiful, powdery sweet Irish fragrance. Has a little bit of a spice to it. Also has some slight aromatic accords. I really like there's a nice sage accord in this, and I really like the leather that's in this as well. This is obviously Valentino's take on a Dior Homme Intense or Dior Homme Parfum style fragrance, and I think it's a well done one. It does go in its own direction. It is their own thing. A little bit more youthful than Dior Homme Intense is too. Great stuff. Gotta have it in my collection. I waited a pretty long time for this to become available again. I wanted to grab it, but it was just gone for a while, but it is back now. I think you can find it pretty easily now, and as far as I know, the 50 ml at least is under $100. You're still gonna pay close to 100, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Once again, from the house of Valentino, this is Uomo Intense. Next one's coming from the house of Brioni, and it is Brioni Eau De Parfum. Brioni Eau De Parfum. I really need to get my hands on some of these other Brioni fragrances. I really enjoy this one. I think it is very well done, super classy scent. Has a little bit of an ozonic vibe to it. It is a little bit fruity too. There's like an apple accord in this. I think that's a common accord amongst at least a couple of these. A lot of ambroxan in this, good amount of violet. I think that's kind of the main note for this fragrance. And there's like some musk in this too, slightly sweet, but mostly ozonic and fresh and woody. For me, this is another very classy, easy to wear fragrance, really good for the office, good for casual wear, could even be worn to a nice date night. It's easy to find. I typically see this one in stock, at least right now it is. And once again, it's under $100 and it's a very quality fragrance for under $100. So Brioni Eau De Parfum, I think, really deserves a spot on this list out of the fragrances that I have in my collection. So once again, from the house of Brioni, it's Brioni Eau De Parfum. All right, and last but not least, from the house of Nasomatto, this is Black Afgano. Nasomatto's Black Afgano. Yep, that's right. I was able to get this for less than $100, albeit kind of right at it. It was like 98 or 99 or something like that. But what a great fragrance. Now, obviously, it is a 30 ml. You don't get a whole lot for it, but you also don't need to spray a whole lot. Most Nasomatto fragrances pack quite a punch, and they don't need to be sprayed 15 times. This one here is going to be somewhat smoky, a little bit spicy, very resinous. It is based off of a cannabis resin known as hashish. So it does have what I would call a slight cannabis smell to it. To me, it's more resinous than anything. It doesn't really smell too much like, you know, someone's just smoking weed right next to you. At least not to me, it doesn't. But I really enjoy the fragrance. It does get a little bit sweeter on the dry down, but primarily spicy, resinous. As you may know with Nasomatto fragrances, they don't list the notes, so I'm just kind of guessing as to what is in here, but I love how this comes across, and the fact that I got it for less than $100 is a big win in my opinion. So once again, from the house of Nasomatto, this is Black Afgano. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below. List just some of your favorite fragrances that you have in your collection that cost you less than $100. It doesn't matter if it's not available under $100 now. Hey, you got it. At the time you got it, it is what it is. I appreciate you guys watching all the way into the end. Remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.